Shut up.
What is happening, friends of CCP Podcasting? Welcome to Beyond the Bell Live. I am Chris Page. It is a Sunday evening here in what was sunny Florida last week. It turned into the drizzling shits this afternoon, but we are here nonetheless. It is going to be a fantastic program tonight. You have to give me 1 second as I'm fixing my camera, guys. I dropped the ball. Old Page. Dropping the ball per usual here on the live stream, but nonetheless, we're making it work. We're making it happen. Hope you guys are having a fantastic Sunday. It's going to be a great Beyond the Bell tonight. Before we get to our guest and we get him welcomed in, let's get through a little announcements. I have premiered Chapter 2 Next Level. It went out earlier today. It is available now over on our YouTube platform. Huge shout out to the hundreds that watched it live from Castleberry, Florida on the 31st, and to those who will be taking a look at the edited footage. It was a fun night of professional wrestling. We had so much great talent in the house. JT Mattioli from Primal Pro Wrestling, the Pump Line from Primal Pro Wrestling, G4 came from Primal Pro Wrestling, Skrill the Great from Atlanta, Devious Cass from New Jersey. The list goes on and on. We had some of your favorites from right here in Florida. It's a great show. Go check it out. There's no rest for the leery and the weary, as they say, because Chapter 3 is right around the corner. It is going down in sunny California. We're headed out to Chatsworth. For our friends with Millennium Pro Wrestling and Primal Pro Wrestling, it's going to be a weekend event. Let me tell you, on the 27th, we're going to invade Millennium Pro. Dallas Dash, our own, is going to debut for Millennium Pro Wrestling in the Millennium Cup Tournament. On Saturday, the 28th at 3 p.m., doors will open, shows at 4, afternoon event, Chapter 3, Good Vibrations. We have got the best of 3 falls, the Pump Line versus the Brothers Divine. It's going to be 2 of the best tag teams in Southern California, hooking it up for what may be the very last time. Whether or not that is going to happen is to be seen. That is our main event. It is going to be a huge, huge, huge afternoon, but that's not all, because then we're headed down to San Diego on Sunday for Primal Pro Wrestling's Primal Pro Rage. It is going to be what I'm calling a Southern California block party. We're going to have a great time. We hope to see you guys there. For tickets to our events at ccppodcasting.com, tickets to Primal and tickets to Millennium Pro, you get them at the door, guys. Show up, show out, come say hello and hang out with us along the way. We look forward to seeing you when we take our first steps into California with a live event. Now, let's get to why we're here today. There was a lot to get out in such a short amount of time. I have been looking forward to having this guest on since we were able to really meet for the first time. I've been watching him for the last several years as our channel has grown, and something about him struck out. I saw him initially with Coastal Championship Wrestling. There was a program with Cha Cha Charlie that just, I started there. And when I had the opportunity to meet him at the establishment and talk to him a little bit about what we have going on and kind of wanting to work with him, the conversation became really good, really quick. We've got him locked down for a lot of 2026, and I can't wait for you guys to meet him here tonight. I'm bringing him in right now. He is the International Roze. He is Roze Allday. How are you, sir? Welcome to Beyond the Bell Live.
How you doing, buddy? Thank you for having me, man.
Man, it's busy. I'm gonna tell you, it's life is wild right now.
Yeah, it is. Tell me about it. I've been so busy, bro. It's just sometimes like time just flies, man.
I know. I've seen your schedule. I follow the Instagram. You stay busier than I do, and I don't know there's that many people that do that. But I can't wait to sit down and talk to you. Reality is this: is we have such a huge base that continues to grow, and as we progress with what we're trying to do, especially on the live event side, man, I want to introduce you to everybody, especially the cities that we're coming to, people and companies that we are definitely working with before we took the air. As a matter of fact, I just finished a call with a New York company that I believe, if I'm not mistaken, in January, March, April, and May is when you start with us, and then you start with a collaboration show with a new company, well, not necessarily a new company, but a company out of New York. And I know you have roots in New York, so it seemed like a no-brainer for that to be the spot where we start you. And it seems like a really good spot for our conversation to start. Where does your roots with New York and professional wrestling come together?
Wow. My uncle, he lived in the Bronx the first time I was introduced to wrestling. So he had tapes, like VCR tapes. And for those people who don't know what VCR is, just look up VHS and a VCR, and you could tell how old school it was for me to like pop a cassette in and just watch it, rewind, and just get back into the aura, man. It was just phenomenal.
I'm telling you, what was some of the stuff that you watched initially that drew you in on the
I'm
VHS?
gonna
Now,
be
when you
honest.
say VHS, brother, you're kind of talking my language because I'm an old dude.
I'm gonna be honest. The very first segment I saw was Nation Domination. It was Farouk and The Rock. The whole angle was they're beefing with each other for who's the leader. And
Yes,
man, that was just magic to me, man. Especially for The Rock. He wasn't a good baby. No one was really like behind him, but once he turned up that heat, man, it was just something about him. I'm like, bro, I understand that. Like, it clicked. It's weird.
that was
But
a
ever since then, I fell in love with it.
oh no, that was actually a really, really good angle to come into professional wrestling on. I was shit, 16, 17 maybe when that started rolling. I remember when Rocky came in and floundered as a baby face. And when he turned heel initially, I was like, I don't know if this is gonna work
Yeah,
out too much, because it's the attitude era at that point. And that they were really
yep.
just building it. Well, damn, was I fucking wrong? Fast
I mean,
forward, arguably one of if not the greatest of all time, has moved more tickets and made more money not only in professional wrestling but in entertainment as a whole. It's just insane to sit back and think.
yeah, correct me if I'm wrong. I believe he had the fastest rise
Yeah,
in WWE history,
I
right?
will.
It's just, I
I
think his debut was in front of 15,000 people. It's just, I couldn't only imagine, like, because my debut was up front of 100 people. So 15,000 strong is just like the jitters will start to kick in, you know?
I wish I saw 100 on my debut. I think we saw like maybe 15 or 16, but of course that's going back to like 99, 2000. There's such a
Okay.
long fucking time ago. But yeah, he was one of those guys as time progressed. I think the only person who may have gotten to the championship faster than The Rock, and
Yeah,
I could totally be wrong. I think there may be two. I think it was Randy Orton and I think it was Brock Lesnar. But I could totally be 1,000% wrong because I know Lesnar got it within his first year. When he came
I
in,
believe, if I stand corrected, didn't Sheamus win it within 4 months of debuting?
shit, yeah, he sure did. He sure did.
He
Yeah,
did, right?
yeah, yes, he absolutely did. Over Cena in that tables match. Yes, he did. So
And,
yeah,
and,
there's another one.
and he still holds that record. Am I correct?
I don't
Or
think anybody's gotten it quicker. I don't
Sheamus,
think.
shout out to you, buddy. Shout out to Sheamus, man, because
Yeah, see,
damn,
I totally
4 months
forgot
in the
about
company.
Sheamus's run. I totally forgot about that. But yeah, that's right there
Yeah.
in the mix. First of all, shout out over on YouTube. Tink says Roze has a bright future in the wrestling business. He absolutely does, and we're going to talk a lot about that as we go along here. When did you decide to like take the fandom to the next level and really, really get into this thing? What led you to that decision, and how did you break in?
Funny story. Are you familiar with the show called Heels?
Yes. Oh, I love it.
So, so I was watching the show with my lady. So we are just watching the show, and she was like, "Listen, that show's cool. I want to experience an indie show." So I was like, "Cool." 'Cause we first met at Sun at the Beach in Kissimmee, which is the funny thing about it.
Mhm.
And then so I just looked up biggest promotions, wrestling promotions in Florida. First one that came up, Coastal Championship Wrestling. I was like, cool, like, let's go. I buy a ticket. We end up going. So when we're there, I'm not sure it's because I work out, I kind of stood out. The guy's just like, hey, bro, you got some size. You ever thought about doing it? I'm like, yeah, playing around, and it
Mhm.
wasn't until my girl, she was like, hey, let me talk to somebody back there because he's been watching since he was a kid. And let's see if he could do it. Like, she's talking, why don't you do it? So I was like, whatever. Like, sure, why not? And Andrea, I remember her name, Andrea, and she ends up finding Cha Cha Charlie. That's the
Mhm.
first time I meet him. And coming to find out, he's Dominican. I'm half Dominican, so it's
Mhm.
like, holy crap, somebody's representing my culture. And then from there, he was like, bro, if you're serious, bro, and you're consistent, I will guide you where you need to go. And from there, it just took off, man. Just one meeting.
You mentioned Cha Cha Charlie, brother. I have so much fucking respect for that guy. So much respect
Man,
for his story, and truthfully, I mean, this goes back well over a year. We've been doing the Beyond the Bell series now for probably about a year and a half, maybe. And within that first 6 months, like he was one of the first guys to say, "Yeah, I'll come and talk to you." And we were nobodies at that point. He had no reason to even give us a shot and give us a chance, but he did. And then a loss as we've grown. Eddie Valentine was on not too long ago. I had a great
Yep.
conversation with him, and definitely looking at doing some work with Coastal in the future because I like what they're doing. I love the spot of the last real territory of professional wrestling because it's legit.
Yeah.
And meeting Cha Cha, opening that door, obviously getting into training, right? Did you train through Coastal?
No, I trained through storytellers because unfortunately for me, their school was about 3 hours from where I lived at the time.
Yeah.
So he hooked me up with storytellers, and 14 months of training, I made my debut, and he happened to be there at my first match
So he was connected from day one, man. That see now
from day
that's
one.
a real fucking one, bro. Let me tell
Like,
you, in a world, and as you're aware, in a world of professional wrestling where genuine people are very few and far between, that
yeah,
is a genuine motherfucker. Excuse my language. A genuine dude, to say the
no, I
very
agree.
least. And
One, one,
go ahead.
one thing I could say is, from what I've seen, not just the type of guy that if you're nobody and you're really to make a commitment, he'll guide you. Like, there's not a lot of guys in the game that will even do that. You know what I'm saying? So
Sure.
for him to do that for me, and I'm a nobody, bro, is man. I always told him thank you, bro, because like no one has to do what you did for me to be in the position I am, and I am extremely grateful, bro. At the end of the day, you know.
he
So
he's an unsung hero in Florida, man, as far as I'm concerned.
definitely,
Uh,
definitely,
and I'm between me and you in this conversation and those that are watching, I'm working on getting him attached to a show that we're going to be putting together. Just I'm a firm believer of I don't forget. And
yeah,
when people do me solids, and for me, the simple as coming on the show, right? Like it really is. It's time. You're giving up time to come and
yep,
talk and chat. And when you get yourself in a position to where you can give back, well, then you start doing that, and that's how you.
yeah,
That's at least call me crazy. That's how I operate, and that's how we've been able to be as successful as we've become with a platform. And I love the fact that your journey starts with him because you know, genuinely because he is that good of a dude. And reality is you get one first impression for anything, including professional wrestling. And if that was a bad impression, who knows what would have happened there? But thankfully, it was a good impression.
yep,
And look at what's
yeah,
transpired since then. You know, when
yeah,
you
definitely,
when you got into training, like you said, man, like brother's got a body on him. So there was obviously you're already in shape. You're already kind of getting yourself together in that form or fashion. What kind of difficulties did you run into when you were getting into the art of what is professional wrestling?
The first thing that I struggled with was a cardio because
Okay,
I could lift weights all day, man,
sure,
but my cardio was just shot. Excuse my language, it was just shot to shit, bro.
yeah,
I
no,
had no cardio,
say whatever the fuck you want. We're
and
not
I
here for
used to
children.
smoke cigarettes crazy back in the day. So when I said I'm a commit, I went cold turkey and I took it day by day, bro. Day by day, drill by drill, and man, 14 months later, bro, here I
I'm
am.
saying so. This is going to sound crazy. So you've seen me, and I'm not a small man. I used to be in really good shape, and
Okay,
I was never a body guy. But in my peak, in my prime, I keep in mind when I say I was in wrestling, brother, it was just 99 to 05, 06.
okay,
So my peak was like 175, 180, right? I'm like 80 pounds past that prime. But
okay,
I focused on cardio. I took the Ric Flair approach. And the Flair
yeah,
approach
yeah,
was, I was never going to be the biggest guy.
yeah,
So what could I do? Well, I can go 25, 30 minutes. I can do
yeah.
that. And
That's impressive.
I can make that look really fucking good. And as a
Yep.
heel, like, and I was in the South, so we toured. So you have to think like Coastal, their territory. Think Monday nights we were in Birmingham, Alabama. Tuesdays we were in, Nashville, Tennessee. Wednesdays we were somewhere in Georgia. Thursday, so we were looping around. And
Yeah.
that was how I was able to stand out, was coincidentally cardio. Now the backside of that for me, that came easy. What came difficult for me was motherfucking footwork, bro. Like
Really?
it took a hot minute because I was a basketball player in high school, bro, but I never
Okay.
had gotten into wrestling or anything like that. But that was my downfall, was motherfucking footwork. So if cardio was your weakest point, what was your strongest point? What was something that surprised you? They were like, oh, okay, wait a minute now.
According to my training, what surprised him the most was I'm a fast learner and I'm easy to train. According to him, to look at a move just by looking at it, and I could master within 2 or 3 reps. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, sure.
So for him, like once he started seeing that, he said, "Okay, I'm gonna give you the old school training because you can hang." So he gave me the Rip Rogers treatment, the Bubba Ray treatment, and from there, man, it's been let's get it. Let's get it. No breaks. We ain't gonna take it easy on you. You gonna throw up, but we're gonna get this drill done. And thank God for that, because it made me a lot stronger in the ring,
Sure.
and not just physically, more mentally, because this is a mental game at the end of the day.
Again, I mean, it seems like a perfect segue. We can talk about that for a little bit, because that's what I do bring up is, the strenuous stuff that goes into stuff behind the scenes just to even get to what you see on TV or YouTube or wherever you consume your product. It is definitely a mental game, and it is more mental than it is physical. And, unfortunately, I see the good in the scene. Like, I know what's out there and I know the bad side of it. And to be fair, like, I fell into the bad side of wrestling. That's why I got out. And
Okay.
what I look at is what did I learn? Right. And why am I here? Like, I got into the drugs and the alcohol and I shouldn't be sitting here. I fucking overdosed and I should have died 3 times,
Okay.
but I didn't. And I look at why. And it didn't hit me until about 6 or 7 months ago. It's this platform. And that sounds crazy when you sit back and, like, nobody from an outside's perspective, right? Like, oh, no, but really, when you sit back and think about it, we have an opportunity every week to put new people in front of new faces that they may not have seen before, whether it's with conversations, whether it's with watch parties, whether it's with wrestling spotlights, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And it works. People watch. And it exposes audiences, puts you in front of new people, and our audience interacts. Why do you think? Here's an example. Here's how you don't know that you connect, right? If you don't think you know that you connect. Here's how you know, or how I'll tell you. Our audience tells us who connects.
Yep.
And when I put you on our screen and our audience says, I like this guy, which is what happened, by the way. And then by sheer happenstance, 4 weeks later, we're booked on the same show.
Yeah.
No, I don't believe in coincidences. And when I saw that happened, and this is the first time you're hearing this. Like, we've not talked about this. When I saw that,
no, not at all. No.
I made a point. I don't know if you remember this or not from the first show. I thought that was you sitting in your car when I pulled up with my better half. I wasn't for sure because I've never seen you face to face. I had only seen you on clips. But when I knew it was you, when I shook your hand, I think one of the first things I said was, hey man, Chris Page, CCP Podcasting, nice to meet you. If you get a minute and a little bit, we need to talk.
Yeah,
something to that effect. And it was like, that was what it was about. I knew what I was doing at the time. I was putting some stuff together. Our audience was already kind of familiar with you, and not just in the States, internationally as well. Like, that's the big thing. When our international audience is like, hey, that guy's pretty good. I want to see more of him. My job is to deliver.
Awesome.
And deliver we will. So I'm sorry that was a lot to throw at you and to throw out there, but I just kind of want you to see how all this really works and how we get to where we're getting to.
Okay, I'm getting a better understanding now. I see what you're coming from.
I'm just saying, this is it, man. Let's talk about your debut. Let's get back to you, and let's get to,
Okay.
you know, you say Cha-Cha's there for your debut. How long were you
Yeah, he happened to
training?
be there.
And actually, hold on, we can't even get to the debut yet. We got to talk about the character and the presentation about what we're going to see at the
Yeah.
debut. We got to figure out who is Roze Allday, and how does this come together? What are you thinking when you're putting the presentation of what you're going to present?
Well, I remember why one day in training, I'm like, how can I present a character that's more of just me, but a little bit more extra? You get what I'm saying?
Sure.
And the funny thing, I was watching which it was like an anime. I remember now. It was Sailor Moon. My sister was watching this, and this is a character named Darren. He turns into this like superhero, and he uses this one rose. And for some reason, I'm like, a rose is cool. What can I do with it? And I'm started thinking, well, I want to be a heel. I see myself as a heel. What can I do that's never been done? Well, no one has ever taken a rose and poke a guy in the eye just to cheat. So that's where that started coming about. I'm
Sure.
like, okay, I like that. So now, how can I be very arrogant and obnoxious? Well, I work out, got a body, and let me be a cocky prick. And that's when that started coming in.
Sure.
And then mannerisms and everything else just fell into place as like, as I walk out and I feel the crowd, it's all just on the fly. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So that's how everything started to click. It was just like, all right, practice this is what I want. And then practice shows. I just started on the fly. Whatever stuck, I kept. And it's been, even to this day, it's still progress because I'm not afraid of experimenting because I experiment all the time. You
Sure.
know? So fun fact, I started as Louis Roze. And what happened was on my debut, fans kept saying Roze Allday, like Roze Allday. And then ever since then, I said, you know what? Drop the Louis, Roze Allday. And ever since then, it was born. That's the story behind the name.
And it should be like, I mean, it's catchy, and it works. And like
Yeah.
like, I can't wait to put you in California, dude. Like, there's so many people as this thing grows, so many fucking people that I know that you're gonna have really good matches with just off of what I've seen. And as you get to this, and I promise you, we'll get to some of that here in just a little bit, folks. Just bear with me. I want to know a little bit more about the journey over the last 14 months, because it seems like, from my perspective, and again, you and I didn't meet until a couple of months ago. But
Yeah.
I've been watching for well over a year. And
Yeah.
so just hearing that you've been 14 months deep tells me that I've seen a good piece of just you online as you've grown just in this first 14-month period. What were
Yep.
for you, some of the highlights, and some of the things that really stand out in this initial period? And on the backside of that double-edged sword question, what's been your biggest learning experience thus far along the way?
Let's start with the learning. My biggest learning experience is to have patience because I tend to like want to rush things. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
So learning to like the famous Triple H line, slow down, and now that I'm like, I want to say veteran because I'm nowhere near a veteran. Now that I'm more experienced from 14 months ago, I understand it, the psychology as to why they say slow down. You know what I'm saying? Pace yourself. So pacing was always a challenge for me, but one thing my trainer used to say, every again is the game you earn. So don't be afraid to fail forward. That's the line that I always stuck with, and that helped me push forward, as far as that aspect. But my biggest takeaway, my biggest experience through that journey, I'm gonna be honest, it's the support, man. Because I'm gonna be honest, I never expected much. I never thought I was gonna be good at wrestling because I don't know. It's just maybe I'm just doubting myself. Maybe I didn't have the confidence. But also, I'm not expecting much. But when I started seeing names that of wrestlers that I like Devin Diaz and Cha Charlie, like Eddie Valentine, got to that, I was like, okay, like pretty good. Oh, Mike Chioda, he was there. Mike Chioda, shout out to you. He was there for my debut. He told me, hey kid, how many matches have you had so far? I'm like, this is my first one on my debut. He goes, bro, you're a natural. Hearing those words from a WWE referee, a legendary WWE referee, bro, really, I wanted to mark out, but I had to be a professional. So I was like, thank you so much, and went on my way. But I was like, man, to hear somebody that I seen on TV give me that praise, bro, that was like a big turnaround for me.
It's validation, right? It helps build confidence.
Yeah,
And you know,
definitely.
and that is something that is very difficult to do, depending on who you surround yourself with, I would imagine. And off of what I've seen over the last couple of years of just building and watching wrestling from all over the world. But it is having that those moments, because that's what it is. Like, this is snapshots. And that's one
Yeah,
of those ones that it helps build you up. It's a piece of that support system, if you will, because it's helping you build versus tearing you down in an industry that it's easy to kind of do both, to be perfectly
yep,
fair. And I dig the fact that you got that compliment. That's incredible. And to know
bro.
that,
Yeah,
well, what that tells me is that down the line, because you know how professional wrestling is, you'll run into each other down the line, and I remember you, and then you may have that opportunity to say, hey man, those words really touched me, and you didn't know it at the time, but it did. And it helped me. You know what I mean? So it's like that kind of stuff is the payoff. It's like it's not instant gratification, but it's something that'll come down the line 100%.
yeah, definitely, man. It's just, yep, yep,
Or you can get defeated by, and I don't ever like for people to get defeated, and it's so easy to get defeated. It's all about the
it is.
push and the motivation and the trying to overcome, if you will. And
Definitely.
for you, what's so crazy is you're only 14 months deep. You know what I mean? Like, you're
Well,
just
technically, 14 months of training, but I have about, like, since I graduated, I have about 11 months now to the day. I will make a year next month.
okay. So we're 2 years deep, 2.5 years with training. I mean, that's right for
Close,
or
yeah, close to 2 years of training. Yes.
yeah. I mean, it's still look at the distance that you're covering right now. I mean, you came out on my side of the equation through Cha Cha Charlie, right? And then at that point, I thought you were a babyface tag team,
Yeah.
and it
Yeah.
worked to that heel turn, right? Because that's it, which to me, I think is really fucking smart, because it allows you guys to establish the character, establish who you are, and establish what's up, and it gives you what I would consider a very high profile little story, little piece of business to come back on the backside of. What was that experience like for you getting that opportunity? And do you think that may have put you on the map here in Florida?
Oh, 100%. 100%. Yeah. But I'm gonna be honest. My first time. I was just nervous. Like, CCW. You know what I'm saying, they have a lot of high profile wrestlers coming through. It's a prestigious territory. So my first experience, I was terrified. But when you're there with like one of the biggest baby faces of Florida State, you learn to like, all right, I got him, so I'm good. So it was just like fighting through my jitters at the end of the day. But if it wasn't for that moment and that man, bro, that's what put me up to that level at the end of the day. So for him, big thank you, brother.
Well, I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I was a little pissed when I saw the turn happen. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
It didn't make me happy. It made me a little upset. But at the end of the day, man, I love the fact that how it happened, because since
yeah,
then, outside of CCW, you're running 100+ days as a champion. Give me the company name, because I see so many of them. I want to say it's Sunshine something.
oh yeah, Sunshine Pro Wrestling.
Sunshine Pro. Let's, if you want to chat a little bit about this, because that's pretty much a hell of accomplishment. And to be perfectly fair, I do like that strap.
Yeah, yeah. Everybody loves the title, man.
It's a good belt. It's a good belt.
Oh, well, it's very. I mean, I don't have it on me because I have it stored up, but it's very big. It's huge. It covers like my whole abdomen section. So marketing was definitely a factor here at the end of the day.
It's got that AEW cut to it, and I kind of
Yeah,
dig that. Call me crazy. For a guy who doesn't watch a lot of the mainstream stuff, I do like that fucking belt design.
yeah. When he made it, I guess he wanted to like maybe I'm not sure his initial plan, but he really wanted to just market the hell out of it. As far as it's a brand new company at the end of the day, so what better way to market than a nice huge title? You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So, and with the yellow strap, which sunshine, I get it. The sun. It was like a new flair to it. Cause I've never seen a yellow belt in that design. So to me, it looked very good, in my opinion.
I like it. I think it suits your waist rather well. And to
Yeah.
be, for me, it's all about education too. Like I didn't know about Sunshine Pro until I saw it on your Instagram. And then what do?
Okay.
I probably need to let me go follow that, because if you're attached to it and I'm watching you, then I want to be watching everything that I can try and watch, right? Like that's the name of the
Yeah.
game. It's also introducing me to another company. It's introducing not only me, the platform, it's introducing us to new opponents too that we may not see before. And that's how we start figuring things out. Like, holy shit, this guy's in my backyard. And to a degree, that's kind of like for you. You're so young into your career. I see something there, and I'm not the only one. I know that I'm not the only one. There's already someone in chat. Let's see, who are you? You mad? Was it Roze is amazing, has a future in the WWE. I mean, I could see him. I can see Roze getting there, 100%. And I know what I can do to help that process along and just be a little cog on that wheel to hopefully find you some bigger and better successes, because there's a lot to offer for someone like you. You have an
Okay.
ability to connect with people, which is sounds so trivial, and you would think that everybody that's in the business and in the industry would be able to connect. Not everybody can. You can though. I mean, look at the audiences. Listen to the crowd. Whether there's 20 people there, whether there's hundreds of people there, listen to them when you're on the screen. I've heard it myself at the establishment many times. You versus you there versus you not there. I
Okay.
listen. You know what I'm saying, bro? Like, this isn't bullshit. This isn't blowing smoke. This is real. You have that ability. And I understand that shit is it's gonna get big for you before it's all said and done.
Okay.
100%.
Be honest, I'm very like when I'm in the ring, I'm very naive because I'm focused on my opponent, listening to the crowd and like, well, not what they're saying, but like just their energy and like what's next. So I'm very naive to like crowd reactions until like maybe after the show and I happen to see it. I'm like, okay, that worked. Oh, the fans like this. Oh, they hate me when I did this. Perfect. So at the moment, I'm very naive. So it's like, whatever.
Well, you're gonna
That's
be.
just me at the end of the day.
You're gonna be. You don't.
Yeah.
I don't expect for you to see it. I don't, because you're not focused on that. You're focused on
Yeah.
A, B,
Exactly.
and C. But guys like me
Yep.
are. We are focused on that because I say all the time, people can see through fake. And I think that is a big piece of our platform has gotten to where it's gotten and to where it's going. I think it's because I don't pull a lot of punches with anything. Like, when you have 3 near-death experiences, brother, I don't think that you have a whole lot that you could stand to
Yeah.
lose, right? Outside of just life in
I agree.
general. So I would rather
I
be
agree.
upfront. I would rather be, hey, this is what's up. But on the backside of that, does that mean that I'm gonna be a dickhead? No. If I see a mistake in the ring, am I gonna, beat somebody up over it? Absolutely not, because you're already doing that to yourself. I don't need to
Yep.
add to that. I don't need to tell you what you already know. What I do need to do is talk about how quick did you get the crowd back. What I do need to do is talk about how fast did you get back on track with the match. Being an in-ring performer, I can fucking tell. What I need to
Yeah.
do is talk about
Yeah.
how fast did you get out of your own head, because what people don't understand is that 5 minutes after something may have happened that is not in your head to have happened or was a mistake, you're still in the ring. And I'm not saying you in general. I'm just speaking, or you personally. I'm speaking in
Yeah.
general. You're still in the ring and you're still beating yourself up over what happened 5 minutes ago. That's how
Yep.
this shit works. So, like, I
Definitely. Yeah.
acknowledge it. I see it. And there's a lot here. And I think that 2026 is going to be a pretty big year for you, man. I truly do. Not only with what you've got going on in Florida and outside of Florida, what you got going on with us, because I don't think anybody really realizes what we're doing right now, because it's not a promotion. I get hit up no, I'm gonna thousands of messages a fucking week. I'm not kidding you. About, can I do your promotion? Can I do your? It's just not a promotion, guys. Whereas there's a collaboration where I am fortunate enough to have made some really cool connections with companies and talent and, you know, bookers and all schools, wrestling schools, reputable schools, and reputable people, to be able to put ourselves in a position to put you in a spot where you can be seen. So with us specifically, I don't think you're missing a city that we're on the calendar to debut in, which is
Yeah.
Orlando and in San Antonio, Texas, and in Los Angeles, Chatsworth out in the Valley. So I want to talk a little bit. I told you about how you got here. For me, it's our platform.
Yeah.
Our platform says, hey, we need to see more of this guy. And I say, hold my beer. And I talk to my investors and I say, this is what's up and this is what's happening. And this is what I think we can do here. This is, you have to also take into consideration for us, 2026 is a building year. It's a
Yes.
to be determined. It's a, is this going to work? And if it does, it's going to be pretty big. If it doesn't,
Yeah.
hey man, I tried, but in the process, here's what we have been able to do. So on your side of the coin, now that you know a little bit more and have a little bit bigger picture of what's happening here and what's really happening here, what are your thoughts of now taking part in this? Because before, I don't know if it was just, hey man, I want dates, but now that it's this is kind of the bigger picture. It's not just centered here. This is a big international thing that's about to take off. What are you thinking then versus now?
For one, I'm excited as hell. Like I just can't wait for that date to come. To be honest, I'm ready, like, just to go out past the currents, bro. Just feed off the energy, man. But my biggest takeaway, I will, if this goes as successful as I pray to be, just imagine what another tour will go. Maybe this time could be an international tour, like outside of the US. It's just wrestling in 2026, bro, and with what you're doing, bro, this is why it's special, especially in today's day and age, because like we learn from all the territories from the past, learn through like history and matches and playbooks, in sort of sense. Then now we could do cool stuff like this to bring in new talent, or anything the fans want to see. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like a cool thing, like in a sense, to be part of wrestling history, because I don't think something like this has been done. I think you're the first one, and it's crazy, ain't it? Like, who would have thought at the end of the day?
I don't think it's been done the way that I'm trying to do it.
Yeah,
to be
exactly.
perfectly fair. And
Yeah,
and right now, you just said something about another tour. I mean, I can already tell you in 2027, the belt's going to be defended internationally. That is happening.
awesome,
That is
awesome,
happening.
man. That's dope.
So I know. I'll tell you this, and I here's what I'm looking at unconfirmed. I'll tell you
Okay.
what, confirmed Portugal, unconfirmed how many dates. What I'm working towards right now for 2027, Portugal is a really, really, really big market for us. And we were
Awesome.
there when they started rebuilding the landscape of independent wrestling in Portugal with WrestleFest and the people behind that company, and they have some really hot cities. It is really fucking something to see over the last 2 years. Brother, if I can go to Portugal, and we have already looked up housing and it ain't no problem. So we're looking at doing, like, I would go for 2 weeks and I'd want to do at least 4 shows and hit every major
Awesome.
city that they've already established, right? and 5 or 6 people go with us. We do 5 or 6 people. They do 5 or 6 people. We put together matches. We put together cards. We see what we can do and see how we can make that happen. And it's already in the process. Conversations are already being had. Conversations are also being had for the UK. And conversations are also being had for Australia. So,
awesome, brother.
I mean, I told you I'm busy, bro. I wasn't lying. Like I didn't expect this. I didn't. I expected some, right? I expected some companies to say, all right, I see now. Because for me, it was more about putting my money where my mouth was. I can sit here and talk indie wrestling all day long, but my vision of independent wrestling versus the reality of independent wrestling doesn't jive. And to be fair, it does not benefit the talent at the end of the day. I believe that we can work collectively and it benefit the talent and the company at the same time. And what I mean by that is, like, we have to figure things out. We have to figure out how to put people like you in San Antonio, Texas, and in Los Angeles, and in other cities that are going to be coming up, Chicago to be one of them. We have to figure this out because travel ain't fucking cheap. But that shouldn't stop people from not getting at least the opportunity to hone their craft in front of a new audience, because this platform's proof positive that you don't know who's watching until you know who's watching, if that makes sense.
Yep. I agree 100%.
You know, have you wrestled in Texas before?
No. I've always wanted to wrestle in Texas, but I've never got the opportunity, unfortunately. So San Antonio, definitely excited for that one.
What if I told you that there was possibly more than one city in Texas? Because that's already working too. And what about Los Angeles? Is that going to be your first trip out to wrestle, at least in California?
To wrestle, yes. I've been to California one time 5 years ago. I think it was San Diego. I went for like a vacation, but wrestling wise, it will be my first time on the West Coast. Yes.
Well, that's funny because when you do go with us out to Los Angeles, I think you're going in September. So I think that's when we return out there. Yeah, we return out there in September.
Yeah.
Like, that's a weekend thing. Like, we'll get the house for the Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You can stay as long as you want to, but the itinerary, and it never changes for Southern California. Millennium Pro always runs on Friday night. We're at that show. And, you know, again, I can never guarantee shit, but I can say that, like, you know, with Dallas as an example, he is getting an opportunity to wrestle on one of their shows. So there may be opportunities out there. We have our show. It'll always be on Saturday afternoon. And then we go down to San Diego. We take the 2-hour trip, shoot down to San Diego for Primal show on Sunday. J2, who you'll meet in April, is one of the bookers and trainers and owners of Primal. So very reputable.
Awesome. Okay.
Dominic Mysterio trained through Primal. So, like, I mean, it was another company back then, but you know, these are reputable people and reputable companies and reputable things that are happening. And I'm looking forward to putting you there and putting you in front of these people, because I do think you got something to offer, something special too. And it's just a matter of time. And then you'll be like, man, I put pen to paper, bro. I can't do it no more.
Definitely.
And I'll be like, well, some bitch, the cog on the wheel, success. You know, like, because that's what I want. I want you guys to be successful. I want you to have I want you to have every opportunity to be successful. And I can't do this, you know, I can't put everybody on the road every fucking show and every fucking thing. Because again, I'm working with 40 companies right now, hundreds of talents. But the ones that I can take, like, I'm selective with, because I do believe, and you're one of the ones I do believe in. I believe that you want it, and I think that if you have the opportunity, that you're going to make the most of it. And that's what I need from you. That's all I need from you. Is to show up and do what I know you can do, and do it well. That's it. You know what I mean? Like, that's all we need for you to be successful.
Yeah, man. I mean, but I think I think we should give thanks to you just for coming up with this whole thing. Because man, very rarely does somebody give new guys opportunities this big. You know what I'm saying, to this level. So man, shout outs to you, brother,
It's
because
it's
this is
sink or,
something.
it's sink or swim for
I feel
everybody.
this is something that just like I think it was just like I'm not a religious person, but I think it was just like God's way of like this is the way this is the path that I'm supposed to take. You get what I'm saying? So yeah, man. Shout out to you, brother, because you're making things happen for a lot of the boys and gals out there that really want to perform and do something they love, and be in front of an audience. So you the man, brother. You
I'm
the
very
man.
transparent, man. I believe in being very straightforward, and if I can't do something, I can't do something. It's like with Cha
Yes, of
Cha,
course.
like I know I've got to work on some stuff, and I told him straight up. I was like, man, I would have reached out to you because he inquired. He wanted to go to San Antonio, and I was like, man, I can't. Like this is here's why. You know what I mean? Like I can't do it because A, B, and C. Let me get
Yeah.
this. Let me get A, B, and C squared away and taken care of because there's a reason why I didn't reach out to you because I don't want to insult you and I don't want you to feel insulted because this is professional wrestling. I can
Yep.
only do so much with what I have, and you either work with me or you don't. And if you can work with
Yeah.
me, perfect. Let's see what we can do. If you can't, no worries. No, I will knock when I can. And I promise you, when I
Yep.
can, that platform is still going to be here. It's only going to be bigger. You know, that's
No,
that.
definitely, definitely. I agree.
It's just, and that sounds cocky, and I'm not trying to sound that way by any means. I'm just looking at the trajectory, and I'm looking at where we're headed and where we're going. And to answer Tink over on YouTube, San Antonio, we are partnering with Community Wrestling. They're a smaller company. They just started, to be perfectly fair. And the gentleman who runs the company, Caius, was on my chapter 1, and I fell in love with this guy. Like genuine, just has a genuine good brother vibe. And he wasn't doing a company at the time. He was with another organization, and he decided to open up his own shit. So he's got a
Okay.
spot. It's in San Antonio. I think they run once a month. I'm actually flying out there on a Saturday, next Saturday.
Awesome.
If you're in San Antonio and you want to come and hang out with us, by all means, that's my schedule, brother. I hop a flight at 10 a.m. I go to a show Saturday night in San Antonio, and I hop a flight at 6 a.m. to fly back here and do Beyond the Bells on Sunday evening. That's
Yeah,
that's
man.
a day in the life. To be fair, uh, I'm really stoked and I'm really excited to move forward and see what's up and see how this thing plays. And my business partners, I say partners, there's several of us, but I have one that contributes equal 100%. They have seen your work and seen you at the establishment, and really are interested to see what happens next too. And for you,
Awesome.
it'll take us to kind of like the last segment of the show, if you will, as we start winding things down. And I have a couple of questions that I do want to ask you from your perspective, because as we've talked a little bit, the net is wide. We cast a wide one, so I always tell people aim high. You never know who's watching. You don't know who's listening. You don't know who's checking us out. On the independent scene, where are some places that you want to get your toe in the water if you could? There's some companies out there that are on your radar.
What comes to mind is CSW, Chicago Style Wrestling. Yeah, man, the energy. Chicago, man, it's a big wrestling town, bro. So that's one of the ones I was like, yeah, I would love to head down that way. Another one for me would be Dreamwave. I've been watching their stuff. Very good stuff for Dreamwave. Recombination. I've been there once, but I never had a chance to have a one-on-one match. I would love to go back to Jersey and wrestle for BCW because they're very good. Darius Carter's a hell of a champion, hell of a heel, man. Man, where else? A whole bunch, bro. Of course, I can't forget about King of Sports. I would love to get in touch with bases with King of Sports. Shout out to Matatan, bro. He's the champion over there. And I can't mention Texas without Reality of Wrestling. So that's another one I would love to get over there, man.
Yeah.
Heavy. I would love to get there.
Yeah, we got friends at a couple of those places. So, yeah.
Nice.
I'd say I'd take a sip of water. And hey, off the top, he named somebody that we're may or may not be in conversations with. So
Okay.
there's yeah, you never know, brother. So I
Yeah.
tell people all the time, it's like you don't ever know who you're talking to. You don't ever know,
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
and
Definitely.
how some of this stuff comes about, like with Chicago as an example. I had somebody hit me up and was like, "Hey, what are you doing like for a collab show? What does that look like?" And I said, "Well,
Okay.
for me, this is what it looks like. If it's a 100% collaborative show, we need to know several factors. How long is the show, number one? Because that's going to determine how many matches we're going to be able to do, right? And then, the structure, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I need to know like how much time am I going to be able to showcase people? Because at the end of the day, if we're traveling somewhere, it's not necessarily about me and my time. It's really about you and yours. And
Yeah.
while like some shows will be singles and some shows will be scrambles and some shows will be this and that, it is what it is, but I try to get everybody a good amount of time to get your stuff in and make your stuff look good and get you in there with people that will make you look good and you can make look good as well. Um, Fuck, man, I just had an ADHD moment. I forget where I was going with that right there. Chicago. Chicago. A friend of mine hit me up. How do we get there? And so they're like, hey, all right, well, 4 matches each. All right, well, this is what it needs. What's the building cost? Split down the middle. Everything split down the middle. I pay my guys. You pay your guys. Blah, 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 blah. Work out the logistics. And then we need to figure out if that's going to work. Right? Like,
Yeah.
because I know at this point, if we're really planning this and I'm getting, say, 4 matches, well, now how do I want to do this? Do I want to bring 3 singles and a tag match? Do I want to bring a tag match, a 4-way, and something else? How many people can I showcase in if I've got 4 matches? Let's say that's 20 minutes a piece. How can I do that? What does that look like? Or maybe I don't bring 4 matches. Maybe I bring 3 matches and I run something that's really long and figure this out and see what that looks like. We
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
Chicago, and there are a couple of companies that were in talks to see what that looks like and if that's doable, and if it's doable, when it's doable. Because on my side of
Yeah.
the
For
equation, I have to plan, brother. There's 2 people putting money into this thing, and that's me and my business partner. So I got to be
yeah.
strategic about this stuff right now
Yep.
too. So when you say Chicago, like whether you get there on your own or you get there through us, it's going to happen. So that's all I'm trying to say. Manifestation, because that's right there.
Either way.
We're knocking on that door.
Either way, bro. I can't wait to touch down over there.
Mm-hmm. Well, who are some people out there that you want to work with? Who are some names that are on your radar that you think that you would jive and have a really good match with?
Well, I already mentioned Darius Carter. He's one of the guys I would like to wrestle, even though he's a heel. But he's just, I mean, from what I've seen, he's very good. Jesus Christ, A and B from one of the guys I met in Old Combat, man. I would love to have a match with. Yeah, that kid, bro, is phenomenal. Not sure if you follow him on Instagram, but A and B, bro, he's somebody that you really should keep your eye on. And I believe it's a Chicago native, if I stand corrected. Yes, he is. He's a Chicago native, and that's how we started talking. And coming to find out, when we started talking, we've been following each other just because something that we like with each other. Oh, following, and he followed me back, and when we first met, we spoke like we exchanged information. Oh crap! Oh, bro, I follow you. Holy crap! And it was a weird moment. So the wrestling world is very small. Talent recognizes the talent, and yeah, AMB is one of those guys, bro.
Okay.
I will love. Matter of fact, I will fight to wrestle that kid, bro. That kid is that good.
Okay. Who else you got out there, or is that it? I know you got a couple more. You got to have some more than that.
Oh man, it's just Jesus.
I know you're on the spot.
Matatan from Texas. He's wrestled in CCW before. I would like to wrestle him 1-on-1, bro. He's very good. Jesus, who else we got? Oh, my boy from Shadow Wrestling. Benny Blanco, Shadow Wrestling. I want to wrestle him, man. He's very, very New York, very gritty. I feel like he could tell a great story in the ring. Yeah, it's just my list is so long, bro. Jesus Christ. Who else can I put up there? Let's put somebody from Florida. Somebody from Florida I would like to wrestle. Like, I would love to wrestle. And he's been on this show. Eddie Valentine. I want a one-on-one with Eddie Valentine, bro.
Ah,
Like
you,
you talk
you,
about you talk about a guy with a character, man. In my opinion, like I feel Eddie's very underrated for what he could do with his character. Like character work, I think takes you very far. And Eddie's one of those guys that he has tons of experience, man. And day by day, he surprises me more and more, bro. So Eddie Valentine, yeah, we got to get it on, brother, one day.
dude, don't piss off his fan base. They corrected me. Like
Oh, really?
I
I'm
went,
sorry.
whoa.
Sorry.
Excuse the fuck out of me for not calling him the sexiest king on the planet. My bad. I am so sorry.
All hail the king! All hail the
Gosh,
king!
Jesus. When I had him on the show, I went, Mr. Valentine, I do need to tell you. You were the
Yeah.
only person.
Another guy, Jay Vidal, very good.
Yes. Yeah,
I
he's
would like. I
fantastic.
would love a match with him. Love a match with him. He's very. These are the guys that I've seen as fans, and man, Jay Vidal is one of those guys that he's very good, and I feel like he's very underrated too.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that 100%. I kind of want to slap myself because I haven't seen anything from Vidal in a hot minute. But I need to go back and check him out, as I know it's been a second. We did a spotlight show on him last June. So but I've seen some stuff since then, but he's a name that I just want to, yeah, that's one of those guys I just want to smack myself because I haven't seen more of him here lately. Well, now let me ask you this, and to me, this is the most important question I'll ask you on the show because it's truly kind of like how our platform continues to move forward, and it's really boils down to like who should we be watching, and what I mean by that for those of you who have never been on the show before or seen us do this show before, from your perspective, maybe people you've been in the ring with, maybe people you've trained with, people you're watching, or
What?
they need to get some spotlight.
What's my limit?
As many as you got. I got all night, brother.
All right. First names to come to mind. Dirty Devin Diaz. You gotta
Okay.
watch him. He's phenomenal. It's not blowing smoke up his ass, bro, but he understands professional wrestling. Like, yeah, bro, he's one of those guys. I feel like eyeballs need to be on him. Who else? AMB. I mentioned AMB before. He's another one that I feel like people should really pay attention to. He's got it. Like this whole new school way of wrestling, bro. I feel like he has it mixed with the old, bro, and he has it down pat that he made it his own. His style is amazing. What? Shout out to AMB, bro. He needs to be looked at consistently.
Okay.
Well, who else can I put in this category? There's so many. Jesus Christ, I'm tired right now because so many people. Oh, Yankee from the Dominican Republic.
Okay.
Biggest Dominican guy in the Republic right now. I feel like they should watch him for what he gives to the business. He is the world champion for Dominican Wrestling Entertainment up in Dominican Republic. And man, this guy has the look. He has the size. He's hungry. He has the charisma, man. This man, Yankee, he calls himself Yankee the GOAT, but in Spanish it's Yankee la Cabra. Yeah, man. Shout out to Yankee. They need to watch him.
Okay.
He has to be, yeah, all eyeballs on that man. He's just a monster of a man, bro. And representing my country, so he has a lot of pressure on his shoulders at the end of the day. Man, who else can I put in the bucket? Jesus Christ.
You just gave me a new company in your home country that I didn't know anything about. You just gave me a new country, a new company in a new country to
believe
look at.
some of the local guys, I believe Salazar went out there recently and had a match, and I believe he won the national championship. If I stand corrected, I believe that's the case. He's another good wrestler out there. Salazar, he's been around the block. Man, It's just so I could sit here all day, give you
There's
names.
a
Also,
it's
and whenever you need to cut me off, cut me off. Who else I will
no.
put there is this kid, bro. And you've met him. You met this kid. You know this kid, Dustin.
Oh,
Dustin. I
yes.
knew this kid since he was 16 years old, and I trained with him briefly at one point in time. And when I say, bro, this kid is the future of the sport, bro, I'm putting my chips on that kid, bro, because he's since young, he's been consistent, he's been disciplined, he's been motivated. He comes when he doesn't want to come. Is that kid, bro? He has an impressive future, and I really can't wait to see where he goes, bro. Like this kid, I feel like you ever feel like a big brother in a sense, bro?
Yes,
For me, that's like my little wrestling brother, bro. It's just he's the one that's gonna surprise everyone
bro.
way later in the game when you
He
least expect it, man. Trust me.
he's going with us to Texas on show number 2. He will
Awesome.
officially be
Good. He's gonna kill
graduated.
it.
He'll officially be 18, and that's the first travel
Finally.
trip that we're going to be able to take him on. And I can't wait because I think the same, the very same.
Yeah.
I think that there's a lot here, and with him, he is so young that with him being as talented as he is right now, I mean, give him 3 more, 5 more years, and he's just knocking on 21's door, and he's gonna be
Yeah.
5 years, 6 years deep. Come on,
Oh,
dude.
definitely.
This guy's a can't miss. He's a can't miss.
Definitely not. I mean, you could tell that he's hungry for it. Like
Yep.
he wants it. And I feel like he's the kid that's gonna get it, like he's the one that's gonna get it.
Absolutely. I think the world of him, he's definitely attached to some stuff that we've got going and some things that we've got moving for sure. I wanna say this because see what you don't know, and why I say that's an important question is because I have people watching the shows and taking notes. I've got a lot of people who work with me on this channel that nobody sees. Shout out to, well, I mean, you see them as co-hosts. If you watch our programming, Goth, UK Paul, Devil at Night, JB with No Game Unturned. We've got Dallas Dash, Chris Chaos. A lot of these guys are watching the shows and they're taking notes for us. For us, I mean me, because I can't do it all. And what happens here
Gotcha.
is you give us names and names that I'm not familiar with. For sure, obviously, we'll hit the list and move up the list higher. I look them up. I start watching some of their stuff. What you don't realize is you don't just give me their name. You give me their opponent because they got to be wrestling somebody. They can't be wrestling nobody.
Exactly.
And then you
Yep.
give me also potentially new companies and new places to look
Yeah.
and new. Again, we do so much here other than Beyond the Bell. I mean, Beyond the Bell is just a very small, and I don't mean this is not going to sound, I mean, it's demean the show by any means. It's such a small piece to a much bigger puzzle of what we're
Yeah.
building and what we're doing. We have Down the Rabbit Holes, which are
Yep.
shows that we just focus on companies and pull individual matches and watch their stuff with our audience. We have our spotlights where it's 90 minutes now of one individual and their body of work and what they're doing. We've got our watch parties, our companies where we're watching their wrestling on a frequent basis. Like we do a lot. There's so much happening. We've got our Wrestling Request Live where our audience tells us what we should be watching. Like, hey, here you go. Here's a link. Check this out.
Yep.
There's so much happening and so many moving parts that it's just incredible, and that's a big piece because it wouldn't grow if we didn't have guys like you coming in and giving us time so that we can learn a lot more about you, but also figure out from that perspective those people that are hidden gems and need some spotlight because we have that and we can do that, and that's what we love to do. I've had an absolute blast sitting down with you over the last hour and just chatting, if you will. I always tell people when you come in for the first show that they're meant to be surface scratchers, they're not meant to be in depth or in detail because I hope you have a good time and I hope you want to come back and chat with us down the line. Is there anything that you want to plug? Anything that you want to throw out there? Anything you want to talk about before we tie a bow on things?
Man, all I could say, I want to close out with, bro. be nice to each other, and peace and love, man. We need a lot more of it at the end of the day. There's a lot of ego with this business, as you can see. You've been in it a lot longer than I have. Just we need more love in it. Say more brotherly love, more sisterly love, and instead of trying to like compete for a spot, I think we should just help each other up because that's the only way we're gonna grow. You know what I'm saying? Through connection. So
Absolutely.
that's all I have to say. That's my piece. That's my piece on that.
I'm a firm believer that that there's too much hate, and I would rather
Yeah,
appreciate, and I would rather use what
definitely.
we've got going on for the betterment of independent wrestling. One thing I've always said to our audience and at our live events, etc., and it's like, how do we better serve the scene? Because
Yep,
the scene is what, and for me, it's investing in the younger generation, because you guys are going to be the ones that are out there over the next 2 decades entertaining us. And by entertaining us, I mean
yep,
getting out there and making this shit happen. We can't do this without you
yep,
guys, and this is the ultimate way of saying thank you. But how you guys can say thank you is, if you have not done so, the easiest way that you can support is by sharing, and subscribing. And it's been on the screen the entire show, right underneath Roze. It's roze.all.day. Super simple over on Instagram. Go smash the follow. Check out what he's got going on. If this is your first time seeing him, check him out, because he will be with us in multiple cities this year. And you will get to know him a lot more, not just through what we have going on, but from what he has going on outside of this as well. There's a reason why paths cross. I always tell people it's up to us to figure that out. And along the way, we're going to figure out this whole process. I want to thank everyone who stopped by and who's chatted with us along the way. And guys, we couldn't do this without you as well. For my guest tonight, Mr. Roze Allday, I am Chris Page, and we will see you next time.